Today I want to teach you the power of a lemon bite gets many looks. Let me say that again because it sounds really weird. A lemon bite gets many looks. And I know that doesn't mean anything right now, but I want you to go ahead and watch this clip. See what happens when a baby bites a lemon? Everybody's face turns to it. The center of attention is that baby. We did that with Everett, with my son, except he likes lemons apparently and limes, and he doesn't make any face at all, or else I could show you a video of him. That's why I had to go out on YouTube and get one, because he didn't react. But when a baby bites into that lemon, everybody gives its attention. Everything turns and focuses on that baby and the funny face that it's making. And how this can be powerful for families is just as that image sticks with you, a lemon bite gets many looks, we can use that as an acronym for how we read and process the Bible and how we can have weekly family Bible discussions together. Family Bible time once a week is the most important thing you can do raising your children, even when they start off young in the zones, all the way up through students and adolescents. And what this is it's an acronym for how to interpret and think about what you're reading in Scripture. So here's what I want you to do to use a lemon bite gets many looks. First of all is memorizing what this acronym stands for. Now the A stands for what in this scripture grabs your attention. Because imagine yourself sitting down with the Bible, reading it, looking at the words that are in it, and in your head knowing a lemon bite gets many looks. And the first part of that is, as I read this scripture, what grabs my attention? What sticks out? What is it that just kind of pops up off of the page? The second question is, what do I like about this scripture? What is in it that I connect with in a positive way, something maybe that's encouraging or gives me hope? So what grabs your attention? What do you like about the Bible? A lemon bite. The B is what bothers you about this scripture. Because a lot of times in scripture there's stuff that's confusing, that doesn't make sense to us, or in fact that we just don't agree with where we're at and what our experiences are. And to write that out, to process that part is huge. The G in a lemon bite gets many looks is, what does this scripture teach us about God? So the first questions have been more about our reaction to the scripture and what we're feeling, but this next question, what does the scripture teach us about God? It changes the way we're thinking to focus more on who God is. What does this scripture have to say about God's nature, about what He's like, about what His desires are, and about what He does in this world that we live in? The next piece of scripture, or the next question for a lemon bite gets many looks is, what does the scripture teach us about mankind? And you can translate that into, what does the scripture tell us about people, tell us about humans, tell us about the nature of mankind in general, how we're broken, how we like what we want, how we don't like to do what other people say. You're going to read that scripture and you're going to think about, what does it say about people and about our nature in general? And then the last letter, the L in a lemon bite gets many looks, is, what can I learn from this scripture? What is the scripture trying to teach me, and what can I learn from it to apply to my life? And when you get to that step, I want you to write out and think about, okay, what can I learn? What's the main theme? What's the message coming through? And then write an I will statement, meaning that from what you learn, I will do what? What is it that you will do in response to what God is trying to teach you? So it's a lemon bite gets many looks. And the way that would look is you get the scripture, pick out a scripture from the past Sunday, maybe the topic, and it doesn't have to be. It could be something that you and your family decide to go through together. Maybe you and your family decide you want to read the Gospel of Matthew together and just take one chapter at a time for, a whole year. It's 28 chapters, and that'll get you for almost a whole year, half a year long. And just say chapter 1. Let's sit down and read it. And what you need to do is you need to make sure that everybody in your family has a journal and a Bible. And you're going to want to teach that phrase. You're going to probably even want to show them this video or show them another video of a baby eating a lemon so that image sticks. And you're going to teach them a lemon bite gets many looks. What grabs my attention? What do I like? What bothers me? What does the scripture teach me about God? What does the scripture teach me about mankind? And what am I to learn from this scripture? And it's going to take some time, but you're going to teach that. That acronym can stick. And you're going to teach that to your children. And you're going to give about 5 to 10 minutes. Say, I want you to read this on your own. So everybody's going to read the scripture on their own with their journal in front of them. and they're just going to answer those questions. If it helps to, write out all those questions, write out that acronym, write out at the top of the page, a lemon bite gets many looks, and write out all the questions. And you're going to ask your kids, you're going to yourself go through, read the scripture twice on your own, just read through it a couple times, take it in, and then you're going to write out the answer to those questions. Then, after about 5 to 10 minutes has passed, something like that, where you feel it's appropriate, then you come together in discussion and you pick a leader. At first it should be a parent, but it should not always be a parent. This is something that each child, each student can lead on their own, and you can pass off from week to week, because all you're going to do is you're going to pick somebody to say, can you lead us through those questions? And so that leader for that week, whoever's facilitating the discussion, is just going to start off at the top. Okay, everybody, what about this scripture grabbed your attention? And then everybody share. Then that same facilitator is going to go on to the next question. Okay, everybody, what about this scripture bothered you or confused you? Get it? And you're going to keep going around until you've had a chance to talk. And I think your key role of the parent is to look for the follow-up questions. Look for the little things that get said that need a little deeper question. And that's how you can be a real stirrer and somebody who can be a real leader and a guide, is when you notice little things, maybe little emotions, maybe confusions, is you be the one to do the follow-up questions. But this is absolutely something that your student needs to learn by the time they graduate high school, because the goal it's not for them just to cram a bunch of information into their head that they can then regurgitate, because what happens is we all know that about school. You learn, and then you forget because you just keep stuffing information. So what we're doing here is we're not focusing on the information, but we're focusing on teaching your students a process. We want them to graduate with the process of a lemon bite gets many looks, so that when they're in college or in the armed services or in the workforce or doing whatever, it's not dependent on what they could remember as a 6th grader or as a 14-year-old when it comes to the actual information. But what they've remembered, because they do it each week alongside you to guide them, is they learned the process of, I go to scripture, I sit down, I pick a piece of it, I have a journal, and I write the answers to the question, a lemon bite gets many looks. So go ahead and try that this week and see what kind of discussion you have.